The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Voiced Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
All right, welcome back to Everyone Needs an Aquarius. We are back in the building. This is going to be a while. Look, we've been on a roll. We've been on a roll. Like, we've been on a roll. Shout out to everybody that's been really rocking with us. Hey, we didn't know y'all was as ratchet as we were, but educationally ratchet as we like.
Not educationally ratchet. You know, we all are a little classy and ratchet. Classy. Yes, classy.
Man,
is what we like to call our supporters.
The Chris Brown episode, people are still in there discussing, talking about Chris. Shout out to you to coming up with Bobby Brown as his the person that could be his savior and get him out of the wilderness.
I know. Okay. It's so funny because it's come up again in conversation so many times. And when I tell people, and I guess technically, to Bobby, I'm gonna say I'm gonna apologize because maybe I shouldn't put that on you, but I feel like maybe y'all should have a conversation.
Like this,
I'm not gonna say
the algorithm. If people Google anything like that, you will be one of the first things that pop up with that thread. The algorithm will give you your props.
That's all I'm saying. We gotta generate a list of people that we want to be a guest, and I feel like Bobby Brown is one of them. Now, on that episode, y'all not gonna see me dressed down. I'm coming in for the kill because in my mind, all I see is "Don't be cruel," and I'm coming in and this is Mrs. Still your husband. No, I'm just playing, but.
Hey, look, his girl is old girl from Rump Shaker video. You know that, right? His wife.
Oh, okay. What they got to do with me?
The one with the saxophone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying that was an old school thing for us young players. We was watching her like, oh, snap, who's that girl playing the saxophone in a Rump Shaker video? Bobby was looking too.
I never knew, and I never knew. Like Tony Baker says, I never knew. But no, it was I feel like this. I feel like this. I need my hair done. Okay. Outside of that,
because we've been on like 3-4 weeks.
It's too long. I'm gonna wash and straighten myself this like today or tomorrow. But I feel like this. I don't know this talent that I have, this energy, but I feel like I'm really right about the Chris Brown thing because sometimes people, it's just like somebody, it's like Ja Morant. Somebody need to go upside his head because clearly his daddy ain't doing a job because nothing makes sense anymore. And his daddy getting a little clout, a little fame. So, he's trying to be his homeboy and not his pops. I'm like, and you gonna keep playing around and your ass is gonna be out the league. And now you really gonna be in the streets with these niggas. So what do you want to do?
Since we here with Ja Morant now, I think it's more concerning that this cat is just this reckless. Like it's beyond the point now where you fucking up your money. Like I feel like he has a real problem now. Because who goes out of their way like this to lose bread? I guess this is a concerning thing. Because you're doing something.
It was this period.
Some of it you're doing on purpose.
Yeah, so that's how. Okay, so there was this period of time where I felt like
Kyrie Irving's trying to kick you out the league.
How do you know
that is also one of our thumbnails as well. That you said Kyrie don't want a job no more.
That's how I felt. Okay, and you want to know what's funny? It was like a lot of people fucking with me on it, and like my homeboy, that's like an NBA insider analyst. We were talking about it. I was like, as a person that has been in management for a long period of time, I was like, Kyrie Irving displays the signs of people that are over their job and they want to quit and move on to something else, whether it be another team, whatever. But it wasn't even necessarily that it was like another team. It was just it displayed the signs of I'm over this shit. I want out. So that's how Ja Morant is moving, or it's like he feels like he's untouchable. These niggas is gonna suspend me again. But I'm like, oh dude, who was cussing him out yesterday?
You talking about Kwame Brown? Kwame Brown.
Yeah, Kwame. At this point, it's somebody that might not play as good as you, that is on your ass low key, and we know how in a blink of an eye shit can change. And so I don't understand how you throwing away this kind of money because you're trying to be a gangster. And like he said, like, yeah, your homeboy is, because I feel like the dude like turned the camera off or whatever, like, right, it wasn't like the live continuously went on. I feel like the guy turned it off, but it's still the fact that it was turned on you and you got a gun.
No, the thing is, like, why do I have the gun out while the live is going on? Like, why am I even?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how old is Ja Morant? What, like 21 or 22?
23.
You too old to be acting this damn dumb.
He's something. You know what I mean? I tell you, it's something wrong. Like, he going through something. Like, at this point, he's going through something that we don't know about.
I don't know if he really going through some. I think that the thing that he's going through is stupidity. I don't think it's anything else. I think it's stupidity. And the issue is that honestly, the league probably should have suspended him for the rest of the season last time. Because they have a zero tolerance policy. And people are getting mad. Well, he wasn't in the season. No, y'all have to understand the ins and outs. It's basketball. So yes, we look at it like entertainment. You get people, but it's a private sector. It's a private entity, and they all have their rules, just like any other company does, regardless of what the fucking government says. When I have a private company, a private sector, and I have all these things that there are rules, regulations, order of operations that are put in place, that's how you forfeit your job. We see it happen every day when it comes to working in the medical field, wherever you work. A girl just got fired working at Gucci because she showed the free merchandise she received, saying, "Oh, I should quit." Just a little joke. And then her ass got fired. And she only worked there for a week.
Oh. What was she doing? She was a merchandiser for him, you said, right?
She was just working. No, she was in sales.
Oh, and just then a regular person like that would be like sack, like not like at front neck.
Yeah. No, she worked for Gucci and only worked there a week. And they was like, "Oh, you want to play even those little games?" And she violated their policy, their social media policy.
She didn't look at that fine.
I mean, like, being aware, I think a lot of people are not aware of the opportunities that they're afforded, right? And we see it time and time again, where it be like an influencer, whatever the case may be. You really didn't give an apology for what you did, but it's like, are you about to be Chris Brown and be in the fucking Bloods and Crips or something? I don't understand. Help us understand. Is this your initiation? Like the humiliation, the embarrassment? Because please let me know, because the math is not mathing.
I mean, the last player that joined the gang went to jail for life. Shout out to Javarvis Crittenton. That is also the same guy that pulled a gun out on Gilbert Arenas. If you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
He later on shot and killed a woman in Atlanta on accident, trying to kill some gang member dudes in Atlanta.
Makes
during
sense.
during the off season, they flew back to LA and then tried to get ready to go back to practice.
You want to know what's crazy about all this too? Is just people are saying, well, he wasn't doing anything like that was causing harm to anybody. And I was just like, as stupid as this motherfucker is, and I'm saying it like that, like I'm my mama, that safety wasn't on. I'm like, that's how dumb he is. And had there been an accidental discharge, whether he hurt himself, the person driving, it could have went out the window and hit the car next to him. This is what I'm saying. Stupidity. That is the case of what's happening here. Ain't nothing wrong with that boy. He not autistic. He not slow. He might be a little slow. He is slow.
No, I think there's some kind of like something he's going through, because there's no way you're just doing this repeatedly over and over again. I mean, I think we're past stupidity though. I don't think we. I think we have to be somewhat graceful at this point. Like we fuck with him, talk shit about him at first, but now this is a repeated thing, because this is not the first incident. This is like the fourth or fifth incident. He tried to go jump the dudes at Foot Locker over his mama or something like that. He
wait. He tried to fight the 17-year-old kid, which is still so weird.
Yeah, then using the beam on people or whatever. On the butt coming off the bus. Doing the little beam, the little red beam. It's something he is going through that is deeper than just being a dumbass.
What he's going through is fame. He don't know how to adjust. That sounds like what that is, but it's this weird thing.
But it's why it happened this year though. This is all in the last year. This is fourth year in the league. Why is it happening now?
Ja Morant. Okay, so yes, when he got to the league, like people talking about him in college, whatever. But then there's still a level of fame that people chase when they're in that look at it. So it is a drug. So psychologically, there could be something else happen. Maybe he thrives off the negativity, and so he's doing things where we are consistently talking about him, kind of similar to the Kardashians, right? The Kardashian effect. And so they always have to be in the news, otherwise people forget about them. So is he I don't know how many of his, it's like 2 or 3 of them, right? In his family, like his siblings.
I think he's the oldest. I know that.
Okay, well, he don't have middle child syndrome. I don't know what's happening. But
because his dad, he grew up like upper middle class. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Oh yeah, our listeners may not know that as well.
Yeah, a lot of people know that. Like that nigga, like they had a house. They have family portraits.
His daddy's like a pharmaceutical salesman or something like that. Like, and not street pharmaceuticals, like for real, like
correct.
Like GlaxoSmithKline type shit, like
right. And so I don't know what's happening where he feels like he has to jeopardize his career for this. So I'm wondering if this is something that therapy can help, if he needs to be medicated. Because that's what
I'm saying.
But here's the thing. Okay. Remember the brother, because I just watched this again. What's the basketball player that came up dead and they think his brother killed him and threw him overboard?
Bison Dell. It's Bison Dell.
Yes, Bison. It sounded like you said something else. It sounded like you said Mike Zendale.
No, Bison Dell. Bison Dell.
Yes, Bison. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
formerly Brian.
That whole thing where it was like one day he was fine, and then the next day it was like all this chaos that was happening around him, and he suffered from like depression. I think he might have been slightly bipolar, not necessarily manic, but so because he had like a really big deal like on the line, and he was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm not trying to play or whatever." And so he mad at him about it. Right. I'm not gonna say the brother got mad, but it just always seemed like the brother was jealous of him. Yeah. So based on when they went through the ins and outs of this documentary, because he killed Bison and he killed Bison's girlfriend and threw them overboard, and then killed the dude the captain of the ship.
I'm sorry, he killed everybody. It was like literally like a movie.
He killed everybody because yeah. So then ultimately tried to kill himself, which he kind of did, but yeah.
Because he tried to
But
play
I
it
don't know,
off
like,
like
so maybe
it was a shipwreck thing, like everybody got shipwrecked, and like
yeah.
he saved and everybody else had died.
Okay, that's not funny. But yeah, so it was just like, okay, so it kind of reminds me of that, where, in hindsight, it could be something bigger going on, but he don't know what to say because like his agent was saying back in the day, we really didn't talk about mental health. We didn't know what that was called or what was happening. We didn't understand, but I knew, like, knowing what I know now, we could have potentially had gotten him help or whatever. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if this is going to be another case of Chris Brown, where are his parents going to step in because now he's older than Chris. Now you have all this money and you just doing dumb shit. Are you going to really go and get the help that you need? Because when you say, I'm going to get help, what does I'm going to get help mean? Is this just a statement? Or are you really going to do the work? I don't know. It's giving, I'm not aware of my blessings. So, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
We just need you to get better. We need you to get better, John. Brian McKnight update from last week, as you all loved the last week's episode about Brian McKnight not being a father. And I think it's lending towards my original idea that he got jammed up by this woman and he's just doing anything possible to make her feel good about her children. He has a statement.
You really think it's that? You really think it's that? And that he's just not a dick?
Oh, he's a dick. But he's doing even more to prove his love, I think, to that woman, that he loves her so much.
The Brian McKnight thing is a tale, like it's an age-old case of shutting the fuck up. Because once we were having the conversation about Brian McKnight, like the internet, Brian McKnight should not have come out and said anything.
I never abandoned anyone. Our estrangement was mutual, but those posts made any roads towards reconciliation and acknowledging them a dead issue. And I changed my will the next day. I've spent the last 30 plus years building a recognized, respectable name, and ironically, there are still people out there who are trying to smear my name while still carrying it, hoping to use it for their own benefit. I make absolutely no apologies for naming my infant son Brian. I want him and the world to know that he is the one who is my true legacy. So I'll be over here, continuing to love and protect my wife and our children as we continue to love our life.
Made it worse. There's nobody attacking your family. That be the weird thing that happens when it comes to like these interracial relationships, and people feel like Negroes always got to come to the defense of white people, and it's always weird because you're accosting my wife and my kids and her kid. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's in the people's comments. Because you want to know why? Because even to prevent that from happening, if that were me and I was like a part of his lineage and I'm like on that other end that could be on the receiving end of that, I'm turning the comments off.
Yep.
Only people that I'm
going private.
Or exactly. It is no way in hell. Nobody is. So stop that. And then when he said the thing about naming the son, the new baby after him, and pretty much this is his what the hell did he say? He pretty much said like this was like his lineage, it was his golden child, like this kid was gonna be the one, like he was the chosen one. That's why he kept going in and making it worse. And then even this is why I want to beat his ass, because he did this laugh after he said that about the name of the kid, Brian, like this is his do-over, and he like totally within that laugh slighted his first son. I was like, oh, you need your ass beat. And people have to remember, Words mean things. Yes, we grew up saying sticks and stones may break my bones and words may never hurt me. But no, that is not true. Words mean things, like Crystal said from the read. And you have to be careful of what you say, because there is life and death in the tongue, and something wild can happen to you. Like, karma shows up in so many different ways. Be bullshit that we say, things, yes, actions, whatever. But Brian McKnight, he's just not right. And he ain't been right since he wrote that song back in 2012 about coochie. And I've been saying this for the longest time. I was like, nobody thinks this is strange. Nobody thinks this is weird. So for me, I feel like for his son, and don't forget, the daughter sued him, and he can say that she lost it. No, but you had to pay her out because you lied on her. You have to pay her out. He's still paying her. And so what, you mad because you lied and you got caught up and she sued you for defamation? Which, again, when I tell people, defamation and libel are one of the hardest things to sometimes prove in court when it comes to media law. And so for people like Tasha K and all, for you to get sued, you better believe they had substantial evidence.
For them to even take it to trial, though, even, right? Even getting it to trial is a hard thing, right?
Yep.
Because they'll just throw it out before I ain't even taking this. Like, we ain't even taking this in the trial.
And so for him to settle, it wasn't like it was thrown out. He had to still pay her, and they're still paying his daughter. Wow, man. I don't understand people like that. It just gives coon, man. And I need our brothers and sisters to wake up. It just gives coon, and they ain't never gonna learn, and they're never going to learn. So that's like the wildest thing about all of this. Like, when he laughed at that, like when he laughed after the comment about why he named his second son Brian McKnight, and he like, I was done. I will not be listening to Let It Snow, because that's the one time a year that I listen to Brian McKnight on that track with Boyz II Men. Sorry, Wanye and them. He ruined it for y'all.
Hey, look, I ain't gonna front. There's still some Brian McKnight songs I fuck with. I still fuck with that. Keep it on the down low. I still like
I don't
that.
go
That
into my Spotify, and I've never been in the mood to say I want to listen to Brian McKnight today. Never. And I'm good.
He's got a couple of
Same thing goes for like a lot of people out there.
That one song with him, Carl Thomas, Tank, Joe, and somebody else called. Oh, this came out like early 2000s. It's like all of them on there, dude. What's the name of that song? That's
not the Best Man track, right? No, that's RL.
No.
And Genuine and them.
No, it's Tyrese. And the song is called it's Joe, Tyrese, Tank, Carl Thomas. Good Enough. It's called Good Enough. That motherfucker's hard. That's a hard ass song. It's a hard song. So Brian McKnight, so somebody else I want to rebuttal against, since we had a rebuttal for you. I have one as well in my corner, and I want to talk to Eboni K. Williams. Last episode, I gave you grace. I gave you a whole bunch of grace. So much grace, I had people hitting me up. My bad. Hold on. My bad. I got into it so much, I messed up and kicked the thing out. Hold up. It knew I was gonna get wicked with it. When it was like, hold on, boy. Like, so I even got stress from the brothers in the streets. People was like, oh, you ain't go hard on her. I was like, man, that's her preference. She don't want a bus driver. This whatever. That's fine. But no, Eboni, you came back with the second rebuttal. Just similar to what Dom just said, you didn't have to say anything again for the second time. And you did a third one as well. This is you tripling down. You said something about the C&D students and white supremacy, when the idea of grades itself is white supremacy in its whole form itself, the idea of grades. And saying that these below average people and all that. Well, let's talk a little bit about your life real quick. I have a couple of notes here. In your book, you said you were a pageant queen and you were to have scholarship money to be able to, that's how you end up getting scholarship money, as well as your mom put you as a print ad kid. Also, you were almost in the movie Interview with a Vampire. That's what you said, that you're supposed to be in there instead of Kirsten Dunst. If she says in her book, it's supposed to be her Kirsten Dunst. I'm going straight from the book.
Okay.
Got my notes for it. I'm going off what she said. So when did you really pull yourself up? Because you had pageant money, and I don't know, the pageants are pretty damn expensive. So I'm trying to figure out where you came from the mud from. So you had pageant scholarship money, you had money from your acting, and print model money your mother put away from you. I'm trying to figure out where your high excellence coming from nothing came from. You also only practiced law for 7 to 8 years. Only worked in a little bit as a assistant DA, and you worked a little bit for some private stuff on the side. I'm trying to figure out where all this stuff's from. And allegedly, I got to put this allegedly because it's not in your book, so I'm not going to say about that. Allegedly, I got into a doggone thread around, because I did my deep dive. I got into that Reddit for the Real Housewives of New York with all these other Roni chicks, and they said that the dude paid for your whole crib and everything up in it. The ex-fiance paid for all that up in there. He paid for all that you was using up in Roni, and it wasn't nobody disagreeing with it in the comments in the Reddit thread. And these seem like these was trusted Roni watchers. So I just want to leave that there. When you talk about anybody being just mediocre, everybody gets help to wherever they're going to be getting. Ain't nobody getting no riches on their own just by the nowhere. They're hard up on their own bootstraps. And that's some fucking white supremacist talking points for you to be saying that about anybody else and any other people if they come up. And the regular person is the regular person. Everybody ain't gonna get bread though. This system in this society is not set up for everybody to get bread and everybody to be excellent. That's some black bourgeoisie bullshit. I'm sorry, I'm out.
Well, damn. I don't even have I don't have no words. Like, I'm speechless, and that'll never happen.
I'm not. And when the first one, like we talked about before, if you don't want to name bus driver,
Yeah, I think it's this weird. It's like Brian McKnight, right? So you get to a certain level, and you forget your past, and you forgot about the people that kind of helped you along the way. So you kind of forget your roots and your foundation. So it was probably never really solid to begin with. So a lot of people get on, and like I tell y'all all the time, I joke about it. I say, oh, when my money is in liquid form, like I'm changing on you hoes, because I am, but I ain't gonna never forget where I came from. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people do things out of embarrassment for where they come from. Like they'll talk about it to a certain point, but then it's like that's no longer a part of me, so I can't relate. So like her comments in regards to dating, but like I told y'all, for me, I was like, I get what she's saying. I
ain't mad at her preference. It's the double and triple down when she starts shitting on regular other people.
But like I told y'all, I was like, for me, I don't know. The places where I go to hang out, I'm not sure if that's necessarily the clientele that's the people that I will come into contact with, right? So I could get how she could say that. But all that extra rah-rah that she was talking, I'm like, oh, bitch.
The first one wasn't, and it's something about the way she talks.
Yeah, it was the tone.
It's the tone. It's the authority. Like
yeah,
you the authority.
And so people
like,
have to also. Absolutely. And so that goes back to a conversation where we were talking about a few weeks ago online about the concept of tone, because sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And the person on the receiving end, if all I hear is, and that's how I'm taking it. Like, and I'm sorry, you could be saying the nicest thing, but if it's coming across to me like you being condescending or whatever, I'm not fucking with it. And that's how it was coming across, like a little condescending, a little passive aggressive,
and then the facial structure in it, like it was. And if you watch her face, it was more of like. And when she said you were C&D students as your parents coddled you, no, what are you talking about? Like most people that have C's and D's don't have anybody like to help them out their fucking grades and get their shit in order to be this high excellence like that.
Yeah,
like stop it, man.
And the fact that y'all got me online agreeing with Umar Johnson, bro.
Hey, how's Umar?
I was like, man, I said, I never thought I see the day where I would be in agreement with some of the stuff that he's saying. What?
Hey, Umar.
Bro.
Hey, how is he the voice of reason? Voice of reason.
He said swimming in milk. And he said he referred to white people as something else on there. And I'm like, how do you come up with these terms?
He's the best comedian out right now, period. Straight up. The best. He may become top 3 for me. He's working on being the top 3 comedian of all time. Because what ain't no comedian come up with these racial slurs that he come up with. He comes up with the best of them.
I feel like we gotta get him on.
Look,
we gotta get him on.
We gotta get the Dr. Umar on.
Gotta get Dr. Umar on.
Since we're talking about wages, I'm gonna play a clip here. Gabrielle Union goes on. What show was she on?
Bloomberg. The Bloomberg. They have like a digital version of their.
It's a general
paper.
Cool conversation, and I'm gonna play it here.
I mean, did you develop that first sense of security?
In this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, bitch. You better work. Bitch, you better work. You know, you gonna sleep in? You know, somebody might not eat.
All right. So right there, Gabrielle Union says that she goes 50-50 with her husband.
You know, let me put this whiskey down. Let me sit up. Let me put on my reporting voice.
Mm-hmm.
Gabrielle Union. I watched this entire interview, and I just want to say, I feel that came out just in conversation. I don't think she was intentionally trying to say this, especially knowing the conversation that was going to happen around this, you know, and I just really believe it was a lot to unpack just in general in the first part of this.
That had nothing to do with that part.
That didn't have to even to do with that part. That was just like a little tip of the iceberg there. I was talking to my mother about this, and in a way, again, there are certain things I cannot relate to because I don't, and it's not that I can't relate. I can understand it, but it's not necessarily my life, right? Or my experiences. And I was talking to my mother about this today, and I was explaining to her how Gabrielle Union was talking about like the financial aspect, because they asked her about being successful and what is that like now that she kind of has money and whatever. And she was saying that she is finances is still a level of anxiousness for her because she is the head of household with her partner. And she's like, we split 50 here. He, you know, but I still take care of other stuff outside the house for, you know, other family, probably other people, family. And same thing goes.
I feel like she was saying more. She was stressed out from other people, not what was going on at the crib. That's why I took it as like, okay, maybe we put all our money in together, but I got to worry about taking care of these other people. That's where I thought the stress came from.
So that's what I was going to get to. So we getting there. Okay. So the first thing, the 50-50. Now, am I going 50-50 with my husband that is making that has that level of money? Because we got to remember, like, Dwayne Wade probably has double or quadruple the amount of money as Gabrielle Union to a certain extent, because it probably could, because he does like commentary, he does all this other stuff. So I think hers could be like in the double millions, like the 2-figure, like maybe she like somewhere, maybe she 15-20 million. Maybe he's into like 100 and something plus. I'm gonna say
so
that
he's earned $200 million in his career from just NBA salary.
Okay, and what's her salary?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just giving you Dwayne Wade's.
Okay, so she ain't got $200 million.
No,
so
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say this. If they're splitting, and that is, let's say hypothetically, yes, he had 200 million or a little more in the bank.
But we'd say 40% with taxes, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. He's still at 100 and something, right?
Yeah.
I'm not, that's not fair for them to be going 50-50. That's
But
all I'm
also,
gonna say.
no. I think the 50-50 is taken out of context. Because I think maybe
No. That's what I'm saying. I think she was
Yeah.
saying it in the sense of like they split stuff around
maybe
the
she's
house.
saying like we just put our money together and it's 50-50 because we both have the money together and we 50-50 in this pot of money.
I want to
If
see
that
the
makes sense.
prenup, because if she's going 50-50 for real, like if it's whatever half of, let's say like if we go in the literal sense of what she said, I don't think that's fair. Only because like she has less than him. So I feel like there's other ways that
But
she
he does
can
have
contribute.
more
They're gonna cuss me
personal
out about this, but this is all I'm saying. And my sister and I, we talked about it today. And I was like, just like I know, you know, she was married. I was like, well, I know you wasn't paying the mortgage, but you were contributing to the households in other ways because based on your financial, y'all came to an agreement. So whatever works for you, that works for you.
That's number one.
And that's the thing. So let's stay there. Now, regarding her saying that financially things are still, she gets anxious and anxiety about it, where it's like you feeling like you can't even sleep in because if you don't work, other people's shit is not gonna be handled. It's one thing if you got a company. Yes, she talks about having companies and all that stuff. So yes, you have to pay people. But I am not in the business of working to be a slave to take care of other people.
That's the better question more than the Dwayne Wade thing to me was the second part.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna get to. I was like, I believe if you are able body, you should be working. I don't like, it's one thing to, you know, like give back to your parents. Look at, you know, your parents are older, they retire, so you make sure their bills and stuff paid. And that's you returning the favor to them for supporting you and doing all that stuff. That's not a problem for me. But you should not be taking care of Buki, May, and Shaquana because you feel this pressure to do for people, which happens a lot of times with Black people. We feel like now because we are the first real successful person, we have to bear that burden to look after everybody, and I don't believe in that. So I already let my mama know.
I was thinking about this, though. Gabby may have a mental thing I was thinking about. Some people have that idea and that pressure because I call it the can't go back people, where they have the thought process that anything's gonna send them back. So they feel that pressure all the time of like, I'll do this next movie right.
Yeah.
And it may not even be the case financially for her. She just feels like that because she always feels like she can always fall off.
I feel that also, and then I'm
almost like a survivor's remorse almost. Almost like a survivor's remorse, almost like.
Well, yes, absolutely. So with that said, I also feel like I don't know what level of therapy that she's in. I don't know if she's just starting or how many years she's been going, if she's really, you know, trying to do the work and use the tools. I've saw a lot of low self-esteem in certain part of the commentary that was happening because looking to receive things outward instead of looking inward, you seek the approval of everybody else as opposed to looking in. And she talks about even losing, you know, she was like a spokesperson for Neutrogena for all these years. And then next thing you know, she was out and Kerry Washington was in because Kerry Washington was like hot with like scandal and all that stuff. And she was like, well, what does that mean for me? Like, you know, so it's a level of rejection that happens there where I don't think she, and I know rejection is hard for all of us for the most part, like, damn, man, you know, but it seems like she had like a harder time, like bouncing back. It seems like, you know, she, in her early stages, she was talking about, when people realized that she was attractive or that she was pretty, like when she was doing print and all this stuff, she was like, oh, you think you think I'm pretty? What? So it's a lot to unpack there just mentally as a whole. Because I was talking to the intellectual ignorant about it too. And we was just like, ooh, it was a lot. And so in the end, it kind of gets better. But I'm gonna say this.
Y'all have to go 50-50 in y'all households. Most of y'all do though, if y'all want to survive. This FYI, this don't reach about the Eboni K Williams with the bus thing. She can try to be on that. That's fine with her. Most of y'all can't afford and think y'all that gangster enough to go get that. Have that situation. Because if you're really trying to build a family, build a future.
But I'm gonna say this. This is gonna be so fucked up. I already know it is. Because to me,
the thing is, Dom, this is. But I'm gonna tell you, Dom. a situation where dude feels like, yo, I'm paying all this, that's when motherfuckers be like, oh, you trying to get me for my paper because you gonna have a bunch of bread if you, and then you break up with me and go fuck with some dude named Stanley.
So that's what I
And
was
then I
saying.
ain't got nothing. I've been taking care of your ass for 20 years.
But also, I feel like that is one of the avenues that like we were talking about as well. But I believe that if you're making more than me, I feel like to a certain degree, and this is something that I've even had the conversation like with my partner about like financial, like my partner makes more money than me. So it was like, of course, his contribution.
Yeah, if we talking about y'all both make 60 grand a year, and you talking about, dang, you got all these bills, right? Y'all should be going 50-50. Y'all both make 60 grand a year. Y'all supposed to be going 50-50. I'm sorry.
But yeah, okay, so yes, that's different. But if somebody is making well into the 6 figures, almost 7, and I have 60,
now I'm gonna flip it. Could the woman do that if she's making that much more?
I feel like that, but that's a conversation you have to have. Like, right. But these are tough conversations that people have to have, and they're not having them. But I'm going to say this.
Podcast, we definitely discuss healing. We discuss aspects of psychology. We discuss like, you know, you becoming the best you, mental wellness,
for sure,
health,
femininity, parenthood, dating,
definitely dating,
single parents. And it's from a lens of 2 psychologists, you know.
Yeah.
So,
but also two people who grew up like with both parents, married parents, and then like you all know that Chloe and I are the youngest of our crews, like her siblings and my siblings. So yeah, so it's from that perspective.
Yeah, looking at life through that lens. Yeah. So you're gonna get a whole lot of things from us. From us being women, going through life as parents, and all of these awesome attributes. But yes, womanology, the study of women.
The study of women.
I don't know. I don't know Gabrielle Union, right? I know gossip. Enough hearsay to know.
Oh no, I know where you finna go.
I'm not sure. But this also kind of circles back to some of the stuff she was saying in the beginning. It was a full circle moment. It was a full circle moment. I'm not sure, based on her history and wanting to be accepted by people, it kind of, I could see a little pick-me behavior happening and settling happening. That's just think about it. Go with
Dwayne Wade? How you settle it? That ain't a settling move.
No, okay. Y'all saying
that's
this
because that's settling.
But okay, so bear with me. Hold on.
Yeah,
we are saying that we're saying that because of the Dwayne Wade we know and financially in the NBA world, right?
Yep.
Right. But go with me.
Yep. And she's older. She's like 7 years older than him too, right?
We go with me. You getting it? You getting it? Right.
Okay.
I am not sure. For me, if a man has a baby on me, and it's not like it, this bitch was up and through their house. They was living together. The girl put in the blogs like she was playing dress up in this nigga's clothes. She was making fun of like the handwritten little love note stuff. All she was putting they shit out. So it wasn't like
hold on. All this
fucking
stuff
her at the Ritz-Carlton or the Waldorf Astoria. He was fucking this bitch in their house. It's a certain level of disrespect that I don't know if I could do that. But when you feel like there are societal pressures and there are things that you are looking for, instead of, again, looking within, so you settle and you take that. Not to mention, Savon Wade was a character and not making, I get it, like, she had all the stunts and tricks, right?
That woman's crazy, though.
No, I don't think she was crazy. I think a lot of it was stunts and tricks. No, I think she was just trying to make Homeboy look worse than what he was or whatever. Because, apparently the word on the curb is that he started messing with Gabby when they were still low-key, still together, whether they was arguing or not, whatever. But I'm just saying, for me, based on that, like, kind of her, like, in her history, it's like, fuck, I gotta take what I can get. I'm gonna take what I can get. And if this is what I can get, okay. And that is me though. I don't know if I could do that. And that's what I was explaining even to my mom. I was like, I don't know
if the dude was just like an EP for Scandal or something, but this dude is like one of the top 50, 100 players of all time in NBA.
Also, yes, that is absolutely true. But the level of humiliation.
You're saying like the ability of what she's taken from him. You're saying,
yes, because it's not like. I'm sorry.
Not necessarily who he is, but the relationship, the trauma.
Yeah,
you're saying.
Yeah, and that's what I was like. I'm removing. You know, like you said, Hall of Famer. You know, sportscaster. You know, how many rings? The three win. You know, 3-time champion. Mm-hmm. I'm removing that. Because that is memorabilia. You have to strip that away. At the end of the day, that's not who you are when you walk my door. I don't give a fuck who you are out there. This is about what's happening in our household and who you are. Because I'm not treating you like that, like how everybody, because we have a different relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I'm looking at it, and I'm operating from the space of like how I might be in that situation. I don't know if I can withstand that, and that's all I'm saying, because I know the thing is we all settle for certain things, which can be true to a certain extent, but I don't know, like that was just a lot of humiliation. And then to spin it and where it was like, oh, you was doing damage control and y'all was on a break or whatever because you was filming and he was doing, da 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 da. And I'm like, but y'all knew that going into it, but it wasn't like, at this point, like you was at your house, he was at his house. This bitch is talking about being in your closet. I can't. And shame on him for that.
Yeah.
And like I get it, like bitches be looking for a payday, but that he a dumbass too, because he know that. Like we all know how that works.
Dang, I mean,
but I'm just saying, to me it's weird. I think that her saying it, huh?
You're talking about something different with it then. You're taking it somewhere else than what everybody's originally looking
I'm not splitting 50-50 with no nigga that has dog walked me in public. I'm not. And so I was so also.
So this is two different conversations. So you're saying
conversations that's happening within this conversation.
Got you.
I just went a little deeper, hypotheticals, observations, remembering things from former, older blog posts. But I'm still not. But also again, I've been in situations where nigga, it's like how one of the basketball players said, like, y'all, we gotta stop. It was like Juicy J, like, it's nothing wrong with a nigga paying all the bills. Who gives a fuck? Like, if he want to do that, let him do that, and that just be that.
Oh, you talking about when they talk about homeboy being a munch?
No, this is.
The dude that paid $500,000 to get with Ice Spice. You talking about that one?
No, not Jordan Poole. I think that was Jordan Poole, apparently.
Yeah, Jordan Poole with Cameron and they made fun.
No. Juicy J said something, and it was like a year or so ago, and it was like another like ball player that said something about, like if somebody want to spend the money.
My problems. That's my main thing is like it ain't got shit to do with me. What if it works for them? It works for them.
Yeah. And it's like some people's just like good for Dwayne Wade because he shouldn't have to because she has a. I'm like, y'all missing a whole point on that. And I think she said it just to like talking in conversation to the guy. I don't think that she probably meant. I don't even think she meant to say it. I don't think she meant to say it at all because it's never. They don't circle back to it, and if they did. is cut out. But I was like, if y'all was gonna cut out the follow-up, y'all should have cut out the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because there was no deeper, context in that at all. Like, and there's a lot of guys cheering because like a lot of men just still hate women, but I'm telling you, that's not necessarily my thing. I'm going based on my experience and the, in the dating.
Devil's advocate though, Dom. There, sometimes it feels, and just speaking from a male's perspective on this, that sometimes women want equality as a buffet. They want to pick and choose which parts they want to be equal on, what parts I don't want to be equal on.
Is it crazy that I don't want to be equal to a man per se? Like when it comes
no,
to
I'm talking about the general cases of it. Like
I
have no problem with equality, but I'm just saying like the idea that a man needs to treat you as an equal is 100% dope. But what is the problem with that same man saying, "Yo, let's work on this together and build our finances together"? Not that all my money goes to do everything. You got your 60 grand to do what you want to do with it.
It's a lot of women probably out here doing that, right? And if that was the conversation that I would have with my like the person I'm seeing, then that will happen when it gets there, right? But I think that for the most part, there are probably a lot of people that are doing that, and they might not, be aware of, or he just set the standard and she wanted to be with him and was like, all right, fine. I think, and that just be it. But I also feel like if it's something where it's like, of course, where it's like in the end where if it's beneficial to the both of y'all, then absolutely. But like if your mortgage is something where, or your rent is like, $5,000-$6,000 or whatever. Like, okay, yes. If that's a lot for you to flip on your own, one, y'all need to move. But two,
that's part one. Y'all need to move.
Yeah, I'm like, but two, I was like, okay, are we all living above our means? Like, how can we help each other out? You know what I mean? But that is a conversation. Finances is also one of the top reasons why people get divorced. It's not just niggas falling out of love and not communicating with each other. A lot of it has to do with money. And a lot of people don't want to have those conversations prior to walking into their relationship. But I don't know. I don't know if I could do it just based on the content, like some of the history of it. Good for you, Gabby. I hope you figure it out, and I hope you cut whoever off your payroll that is not helping you win.
Also,
because in the end, you see her, being able, like, it seems like she ultimately, at some point, finds her voice when it comes to certain things and certain business meetings, and people have coached her along the way. Which is really dope and great, but I'm like, I don't think them niggas want, huh?
I'm gonna flip the last part of you. A lot of dudes think that since he got jammed up with old girl, that Gabrielle Union been running Dwayne way. So a lot of dudes that feel the opposite way. I know that feel that Gabrielle been running his ass since he got jammed up because he did get jammed up. So it's like a weird thing. So it's like, if people feel like, oh, Dwayne Wade just let Gabby do whatever she want to do now, since he got, had decided.
And you trust me, them niggas ain't going 50-50 how they think how that came out. They not.
No. Look, because
it's no way. No, ain't no, listen. Gabrielle Union, based off of everything that I fucking said, she ain't going 50-50 with that nigga. I'm telling you right now, she ain't.
Even if it didn't happen, she wasn't going 50-50 with him, is what I'm saying.
Even if it did happen, she wasn't going 50-50. And I'm like, well, all that back
I think she was saying like, our money is all together. We have this together 50-50. Like,
and I'm gonna say this, and if that's how it is, she idiot. I'm not like,
no. I'm saying it's one pot of money. I'm saying it's one pot of money, but he got the majority of the pot in there and it's taking care of most of the bills. But she feels like it's 50-50 because we have one bank account. That's my point.
Yeah, that's she idiot. No. Here's the thing. And I know
And because I like, so let's say I bring 100,000.
They probably got. She probably got an account. They got a house account. He got an account. Trust me on that. And then they got a business account.
Yeah.
Or business.
And I guarantee you, the main house account, he got the majority of the money in there paying for the bills.
Yeah, they probably put a percentage because, like, especially if he making more than her. So if they putting in 20% or whatever, he probably put 20%. She probably put like 10 or 15. Huh?
He got all his kids, so he got to pay more because I got to pay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I ain't going for the 50-50. I'm like, yeah, I love your kids. Yeah, we got a kid together. But I'm like, the niggas was grown when I got here, pretty much. Okay, no, maybe they wasn't grown. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, you used talking about PR earlier. Someone with a great PR move. I think one of the best PR moves, and I'm going to talk about the better PR move he could have made. Jonathan Majors now dating Meagan Good, allegedly. Now, this is one of the best moves I have seen since Scandal. Now, I'm going to go off here on this one. I'm going to take the lead on this one here. I think if I was his PR person, I would have had him get at Octavia Spencer and really shut down the game and really show my blackness. I would have told him in the meeting, I'd be like, all right, man, how bad do you want to get back in? Like, how bad do you want to do this? Bro. I got Meagan Good. That's going to be a good look, too. But if you really want to do this, you're going to have to take a year and a half of Octavia Spencer and do what you got to do. That'll really get you back in with black people, black women, and women in general if you date her. That would have been my real PR move. We're going to do this PR dating move stuff. It worked for Michael B. Jordan. It got him off the books for the white women for a minute. Got us up off him thinking white women are thinking he's gay. We can do the same thing for you, Jonathan, but you're going to have to do a little something extra. Octavia Butler, you're going to have to get with her.
Octavia Spencer or Octavia Butler?
Octavia Spencer, I'm sorry. But Octavia Butler's dead. That's the writer. I'm sorry. That wrote Kendrick.
Yeah, I was like, I don't.
Yeah. Sorry, Octavia Spencer. Sorry to the great writer. But I'm just saying it's a great PR move. I'm amazed how good that PR person. I need to find out what company he worked with.
The way my brain works, I wasn't gonna go left like that.
You didn't think it was gonna go there. You didn't think it was gonna go there.
I didn't know what the fuck you were gonna say, but it wasn't that. But I'm gonna say this here, like I'm gonna go out on a limb, and every place that I have seen this headline, I have had the same comment, and people really are messing with me on it, right? I think Meagan Good is the other woman. I think Meagan Good is who he was texting when everything went down. You got this newfound fame. You are explosive. She is divorced from Devon Franklin. No one said, if this wasn't true, if this was not true, I think Meagan Good would have said something along the lines like, that's a good friend of mine or something. She wouldn't leave him like hanging out to dry or whatever, like where she would play him. But she was just like, that's my boy. No, but no. Hear me out.
When the rappers be like, yo, I forgot what rapper was it they was trying to say was messing with Meagan Good. And she came directly out, was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe that there is some truth behind this story. And though this person, that this source is saying that it's fairly new, I don't think it's fairly new. I think the source is late to the party. And I think that Meagan Good and Jonathan Majors have been talking for a minute.
Okay, but they could have just been talking though. Like, all right, I've been working.
It doesn't matter. That's who he was. That's who he was texting. Because if they're now dating or whatever, there was some lead up to it. Wasn't like I met you, I want you. Though that's
right. So do you think that Meagan knew about the other woman, or it was like he was on some like I got to get up off the books with this other chick? I got a chance at Meagan Good. I'm on.
He probably was already ready to exit stage left because now he on people. See, that's what we go back to fame. So like now it gives you a level of visibility that you didn't have before. And so now
is this what we want a black man to do? Lead a white woman for a black woman? Isn't that what we want? Like this is the opposite way.
That's what I'm saying. But okay, so yeah, we had Russell Wilson do that, right? but it didn't come with abuse allegations.
That's true. That's true.
So with that being said, I'm just saying hypothetically, what if, just go with me, y'all. I believe that this could be true. I think that could potentially be the thing. And that's who he was texting, because remember, he was supposed to be, engaging with other women. I'm just saying, I don't think it's as fresh as people are making it out to be. Because for it to come out like they go together, like they are dating, they've been talking. And she probably been kind of taking this, trying to be off the grid with it anyway, knowing that he could have been potentially in a relationship, even if he was trying to leave. But also, it's like how Stella got her groove back. She off the heels of a marriage. She been divorced for like a year now.
Yeah.
She ready to get out in these streets and really have a good time.
Oh, I just thought about it. She was living in New York for a minute because she was shooting Harlem, and that's where he lives at.
Yep.
And that's it, man. People don't understand. If you've never been to New York, it's so easy to dip, dodge, and slide in New York. The only dumbass celebrity that gets caught up in New York is Tristan Thompson. I don't know how you get caught up at the Soho Club, a private bar, and you get caught on pictures, and you can't even take pictures. I didn't even know. They're like, how do you? Like, that's how dumb you are.
Yeah, somebody whipped their phone out and was against the policy.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but Kristen, why you always the one keep getting caught up?
I'm Doja. They sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, though.
Seriously, man. Just Posted. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to everybody coming to watch though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
Well, it ain't like, Tristan. I mean, you have to also remember, whereas somebody could probably be a little more incognito because they could be like, like average height, 6 feet or below. He can't fall under that radar like that. So, I mean, unless he, had like a mask and a hat and some sunglasses, his eyes, like he has a distinguished look. A lot of dudes in the league have distinguished looks.
So you think it'd be easier for Jonathan Majors to dip and slide around New York than even though he's in all these Marvel movies and stuff?
Or I mean, they could have went to a few restaurants. They could have been hanging out at each other's house, because I don't know. Like I said, like I know we have a lot of spots out here where you can't, have your phone out or be taking pictures like that. So I could only imagine New York has to be just like that, if not worse. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but for it to be, they was probably, what John Legend say?
Oh, you know what? I was listening to this interview. Shout out to Higher Learning with Van Lathan and I forgot the other Rachel Lindsay.
Rachel Lindsay is her name.
Yeah, Rachel Lindsay. And he was on there talking about that he found out about these underground bathhouses that nobody knows about. They're private, that you can go get massages, get a bath, everything. He's like, nobody knows about it. It's like some lower parts of Soho and the Village and stuff. So now you're making me think, because he was like, yeah, people don't even know about it. Like he said, somebody, agent or somebody took him there and like was like, yeah, you can just do this. It's this little private little joint. You just got nobody even know you even heard you come in, come out. I was like, now it makes me dang, Dom.
Yeah, it's a lot of places. It's probably a lot of places where if you not of a certain caliber that you probably won't even have access to or know that it's there. Like I went to a cigar lounge in Beverly Hills, and you have to have like a membership to go. And it was like a nice size table of us. Like the person took, like it was a couple of producers or whatever, and I met up like my homegirls was with them. So it's like in the cut behind like a restaurant that I used to go to that I would frequent when I worked in Beverly Hills, and never paid attention to this random door, and it like at all. And so You had to be let up. Like, it wasn't like you could walk in. It was like a host. They had a key fob. They had to let you up. It was like a whole thing. So I could only imagine that. Or it could be like, you know, like John Legend said, stealing moments just to be with you, and they are in another town over, you know, and yeah, she don't have to know. Such an amazing song, guys, by the way. Such an amazing song.
Yeah. I mean, also, the great Dino Jones with this song, she gives me all her time and half her time and all her love. From that Where I Want to Be album, which is a great Cheaters album.
Oh my gosh. Like, it's just really, I mean, people be creeping in and out like all the time. You know,
You're saying this really could be a thing if they was already kicking.
I feel like that's probably already kicking it.
Dang. I think
like, because don't forget in the text messages too, that did not really exonerate him of anything except for the strangulation. One of those things was like, did you leave your key? Like, did you leave the key? Like, it was like, that's what he said to her. For whatever she said, he was like, I don't give a fuck what you saying. Did you leave your key? So he was already
ready to transition. Like, because that was a real quick transition from y'all to be kicking and hanging out to where your key at.
Yeah.
That means that you was already ready for the dismount.
Yeah, or he probably thought that, you know, like, maybe I'm getting to know this person. I don't know if I'm sure about this or not or whatever. This is also new. Because, you know, like, sometimes people overlap. Like, I'm pretty confident. Like, you know, like,
I think most people overlap, man, to be honest. Most people overlap, be honest. And that's just,
yeah. And that's just being real. Because you might not be necessarily taking that other person too seriously, and then you just on a whim meet somebody. Like, I know that, like, even when I met my guy, I was like, I was open and receptive to meeting people, but was I consistently dealing with somebody at that time? No, but I'm confident that he was talking to somebody, and I already know how the game go. It's like, I'm in it to win it. So I'm going into the finals and I'm getting my ring. Like, the fuck? Like, so I think they was probably already talking. I think they was talking. He was entertaining her.
Just maybe just texting. Maybe they hang out once or twice or two, or like, when you get off the set, hit me up when you're done with the set. I'll be done my set at 2. When I'm riding on the Uber back to the crib, let's chop it up for a little bit. And maybe it might be only 30, 45 minute conversations every day. Like, nothing like super big. And maybe they hung out once or twice. So I'm not saying that they were smashing necessarily. You're just saying that they had dealings with each other at some level.
They was probably already talking. Yeah. Talking don't necessarily mean like fucking. Yeah. But absolutely. I think so.
I think this can actually hold both for their careers though.
Yeah. But also I think black women don't want this to be a thing based on what happened. And like I told you, like, nobody deserves any level of the abuse. Like, I don't care what color you are, however you identify, right? But, you know, I think had it been, you know, no scandal behind it, I think it would have been, I think it would be really dope. But, you know, I think black women in general, frustration with it is like, we always got to be the cleanup woman. We always got to be the savior. We always have to rectify. We always have to fix everything. So I think that's why a lot of black women are irritated with the idea of this situation. Because, you know, like, some people think it's just a PR stunt for him to get back in the good graces of people.
But it could be something more genius. If you're you know,
I feel like I'm right. I feel like
they could have genuinely been talking to each other before. Then that whole PR thing is out the door. Then,
yeah. And
I'm like Octavia Spencer thing out the window. Then, okay, I'm with you now. That makes sense. Yours makes sense.
You should, because I think I think for the source to even be like that is new. I think that they have been engaging in conversation for a while. And I don't think that they wanted people to know, because I feel like it might have been later down the line, especially if it was something that was potentially that could get serious. But now it adds like a certain level of pressure to it. But we'll see how it plays out. We'll see what happens. But I think they was already talking.
All right, our last topic, Dom. I'm going to read you a story. Okay. And I want you to give me your thoughts on it. Shout out to the 6 brown chicks. This was delivered to me. Interesting stories that they have. They're supposed to be true stories, allegedly. Hold on, I had it pulled up. All right. So the story goes. So they have a whole bunch. If you go to 6 brown chicks on Instagram, you can check them out. All right. Wife was out of town, so I went clubbing and hooked up with a few women at home. Rika tried to turn our one night stand into something more. So I admitted I was married, then said if I wasn't, I'd date you seriously. A huge lie. Wife came home and all was well until I noticed Rika standing outside in the mornings waiting on me. First she ran across the street, then she moved in front of our home wearing the same clothes she wore in the club. I ignore her. When Rika put an air mattress on our lawn and masturbated in front of our home, wife demanded I call the police. But I didn't want Rika to tell her that we hooked up. What do I do? Now, he also has a thing after that. The 6 brown chicks said he showed them the ring. He sent ring footage. There is a woman on a mattress on the public street right in front of the home, this close to his lawn. She's not masturbating in the clip, but she's there.
Bro. See, this takes me back to what, like I said about the Dwayne Wade thing. Why are you fucking bitches in your house? That's on him, and I hope the wife leave him because of that dumbass. You ain't as smart. You're not smart. And so now you bringing all this chaos into our home. Like, I think there's certain things like, and I'm going to be honest. I don't know how I would fully respond if, like my partner or whatever, or husband had a one night stand. Would I leave them? I'm not 110% sure because, and I pray that I never have to be faced with that conversation.
Yeah.
Because I know me, I'm petty. I got homeboys that done fuck shit to me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let it go. And then somehow, every once in a while, I'm gonna throw a jab. Like, that's me though.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Like, and then why would you even entertain the thought, like just even playing games like that? Oh, if I wasn't married, I would probably pursue you for real. Nigga, what the fuck was y'all talking about when you just was supposed to be fucking bitches in the club? And now that's what you telling a bitch? Like, that's wild to me. Like, that's what I mean. You know how things always end up deadly in relationships and shit because niggas be doing dumb shit like that. That does not make sense. That does not make sense. Like, how did
I'm gonna read another one then.
Come on now. No. And this is real. Like, at first it sounded like an exaggeration, but then for them to confirm that it is footage, bro, you got to take the L. It's either y'all moving, you buying a house somewhere else, or you taking the L. And I think you got to take the L.
Yeah, I think you're gonna take the L. So this is another one from the same one. It says, my cousin came out last year, but we always knew she was a lesbian. At my mom's b-day party, she hit on my wife nonstop. My wife giggled, but I knew she didn't like it. I confronted my cousin, and I said, back off. She don't like clit. She likes dick. Cousin showed me pics on her phone. Recognize this cat? That's my mouth on it. It was my wife. My wife said it happened just a few times. Cousin said it happened every Thursday for a year, and that it's really my fault because I don't give my wife oral foreplay. I told her real men never do that. My uncles were outraged. Huge argument. My entire fam knows wife cheated with a woman that I don't eat and that I don't eat coochie. Advice. I'm going to fix me a drink. Hold on.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm going to talk to y'all while Daryl is fixing him a drink. I don't know. The husband kind of got to take the L, but I'm not mad at him for telling her to chill. But the cousin is wrong because pending whatever the conversation was with the wife, if they've ever talked about not telling, like the cousin is wrong for that, and that's all ego. And so now, if this has clearly gotten out, he gotta leave just off of GP that the whole family know that she slept with the cousin.
And because he wasn't pleasing his lady, so it's like double. It's double.
Yeah, it's like levels to it. But I ain't even mad at the pleasing, not pleasing, right? Because that's common, and that's a whole other episode.
Yeah, that happens. That happens.
It happens. But I think that honestly, yeah, no. Like the fact that they know that the cousin been eating the wife coochie, like now that it's out, bruh, you got to take the L and you got to get divorced.
All right, so this is the last one. I'm going to give another one. My mom and I don't get along, but she studied tarot and reads palms. I invited my fiance to meet her for the first time and get a reading. Mom said he had an aura of chronic unemployment and weed. And she told him the baby that's on the way ain't yours. I was shocked because I'm not pregnant. But he blurted, I knew it. Mike just told me she was pregnant again, but I pulled out. Then he realized he told on himself and apologized. Mom replied, I'm not psychic. I just know you ain't shit. Now he's mad. He said we tricked him into confessing. Wedding dress and venue are paid for. Non-refundable. Advice. Yeah, y'all gonna take L's on that money.
No.
I mean, it's like, this is bad. That's bad.
Okay. I don't want to put nobody business out there because I don't. It wasn't a tarot thing, but I would eventually come into some information where something similar happened, and the person went through with it. They went through with it because of that. You know, like things were non-refundable and, you know, all of that stuff. So ultimately, you know, years later, they got divorced, you know, but I don't know if I could do that. Like, y'all just saw my whole commentary about the baby with Dwayne Wade. I don't know if I could do that. I just might have to take the L and lose the money because I'm not sure if I will ever trust you. I'm not sure if I can ever fully love your child because you clearly stepped out on me. Whereas if I'm walking into a situation and the kid is already there, right? There's this level of resentment that you have for this kid. And it's messed up because the kid is clearly innocent. But you know, with that comes drama. And do I want to even deal with that? I'm like, hey, I'm like homegirl on Harlem that ends up suing the homeboy that's on P Valley, Meagan Good's boyfriend. When she go out when she ends up with her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, and she sued him for the wedding expenses and everything.
I mean, that's what I would just do. I was just like, okay, either y'all can get married and you give me like half of like this deposit back, or I'm suing you, because I feel like I was bamboozled, and I would probably do that.
Yeah, with the Indian girl on
with the Indian girl. That's what I would probably do because I just wouldn't because now I'm literally not gonna trust you. And
I
it's
mean, well,
not like, again, it's not like these be random bitches. It be chicks, like in this case, it is an ex. There's some sort of feeling or emotion that you still have that's there, where you felt comfortable enough to go and have festivities with them. Yes.
all right, we're gonna do one more before we wrap up.
Okay.
I moved to Vegas for my career and I left my daughter with her father. After a few years, I returned to them. He cut off my daughter's hair because he didn't know how to style it. His mom homeschools her because he didn't like feeling like getting up at 8 every day to take her to school. She's 8 and can't remember her ABCs. She's happy, but I'm concerned. Also, I returned to Vegas, so I can't take the kid. How do I make him a better parent? Advice. First of all, lady, you ain't shit. She said, I returned them years later. Like,
You don't have nobody to blame but yourself.
yeah.
Now your daughter is behind in school because you left her with your baby daddy, who is clearly a lazy, unfit parent. And what are you doing in fucking Vegas where you can't have your daughter? You know what I mean? Like, Vegas is cheap.
We know what she's doing.
Like, what are you doing?
No, we know what she's doing.
We know what she's doing.
Yeah. We know what she's doing. You living in Vegas?
Like, you either working in the strip club or you are working overnight at one of the clubs like Dre's or something that be open to like 6 or 7 o'clock.
Or you working overnights. If you get what I mean.
I know what you mean. You're
working overnight. You should be able to have your kid during the day.
But then maybe she, like I said, people,
she might
they
work
need
at the
to
Bunny Ranch. She might work at the Bunny Ranch, where you got to live.
She probably do. But I just feel like what is your? I don't understand why this kid is not in school, and the fact that his mom is homeschooling her, that means she ain't a good homeschool teacher. She's not a good educator for an 8-year-old to not know they fucking ABCs. My like, ABCs is something you start teaching kids when they like. That's why you got the letters on the fucking refrigerator. Go give me an A. Go give me a B. You know, like, that don't make sense. So the state need to take that little girl, because everybody fell on her.
Look, I don't like the state taking no kids, but the state do need to take that kid if they don't know his ABCs by 8 years old. That is tragic.
That is trash.
Like, kids know the ABCs at 2 and 3 years old, and your kid's 8.
8. That don't make no damn sense.
All right, well, I'm gonna do another one. I tricked my grandmother into refinancing her home 4 years ago, and I spent the money on plastic surgery, skin treatments, and wardrobe. It was an investment to earn more money at the club and or marry a rich man. That didn't happen. My husband faked his rich lifestyle and is poor. I planned to leave him. Then COVID hit, and I didn't make any money dancing at the club. Meanwhile, my grandmother's mortgage has doubled, and she doesn't understand why. She may lose her home and will have to live with us. My husband is cool with it, but I can't take care of a dementia person while I'm trying to get a better life for myself. Advice.
You just need to go ahead and realize that you're going to hell.
Damn, just straight up.
That's so fucked up. And she has dementia, so she don't know, like, is forget.
She
Bro,
refinanced her home and took all the bread.
and like, where are your parents? Like, where's this girl's parents? Like, well, she don't have no other kids. Where somebody is like, this is just really weird. We don't know what happened or whatever. She need to go to jail. She needs to go to jail. And then, did you think that
she should come live with you?
She should, absolutely. My question is this, okay. So when you was working at the club and you thought that XYZ was gonna happen, people gotta stop being so stupid. So did you think?
Oh man, they got a whole bunch of them on this page. We might have to just do this every week because they got a whole bunch of these situations on their page.
Or we could do like a special episode where we go through certain stories and pick up. Okay, but what's crazy is she was saying that she did all this stuff to get a better life, right? Not once did we ever still hear her ever say, I was going to pay it back once I made more money. So she did not have plans on ever paying that money back either, I don't think. This is just really, girl, you just need to go ahead and go to jail. Turn yourself in. Now you can get out your marriage. What you might for fraud.
You gotta do 3 to 5, right?
You might do it. She might do a year.
You gotta pay a little bit restitution, maybe probably about $300,000-$400,000 restitution.
They not gonna make her pay that because she ain't gonna have that to pay that.
They that money. They're gonna make you pay restitution.
They might not. Because if she don't have that, they just gonna take her everywhere she go work, just take her check.
Yeah.
She ain't gonna do that. Like I said, I would just say, what's the longest I don't have the finances? Because she clearly don't have like no type of skill where they could even really do that. She would just still have to go strip, which is she probably okay with that.
Right, but the thing is that
she just really needs to just go to jail, okay? Because, bro, what the fuck? You don't want to be with your husband. It's the easiest thing to do. Go to jail.
And get away from your husband too, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the easiest way to get away from your husband. Go to jail.
Go to jail. That's the best way to get away from it. Is go to jail.
Go to jail, and then when it's all over, you're going to hell because that's not right.
Well, could she redeem herself from this? Could she redeem herself from this? How could she redeem herself without going to jail?
She better become a CNA and take care of her grandmama.
Or she gonna have to step up and start giving some more head in the back and pay off her grandma mortgage.
Dog, ain't no fucking way. That's never even crossed my mind.
And it's not even, she didn't even use it to like, yo, I'm to us to buy a house or to flip it to do something else. She got enhanced.
She did superficial bullshit, and that's why she got stupid games.
Just to get stupid prizes.
Silly prizes. I'm just sitting here shocked. That's almost worse than the bed being on the lawn, the air mattress.
Hey, I want to see the ring though with this because I just would like to see. I'm interested in seeing what type of woman this is that got jammed up like this. Is this some big girl he met at the bars? No, I won't say big girl. I won't say that because it's what unattractive girl or unattractive woman that has low self-esteem for her to get to that point from just having sex with a guy one time, and now you trying to sleep on his lawn.
It's wild.
Married or not, that's low self-esteem.
Married or not, he got to take the L, and they got to move. Like
or my whole thing is, so first of all, I'm going to no, because then I can get jammed up. I was gonna say I invite her over, get her phone, delete my text messages if there are any in there, then report her to the police and say I don't even know what she's talking about.
I mean, I don't know. I just.
Wait, are they gonna spend money to go back to my text messages? Is that enough use of the police budget to go find my little text messages?
I mean,
in this case,
he might end up. I mean, you know, but it'd be so hard, like. Because they don't even, it's not, if people think getting a restraining order is an easy thing, it's not. A restraining order is such a complex thing to come across. So it's not like she would have to continuously like harass.
He said that she's sleeping on. Masturbate.
She
That's
would have
pretty
to keep
arrest.
doing that consistently because, like, at this point, she just trespassing. So they'll give her a ticket and go about their day if they show up.
They might be like, dude, videotape that and send it to us. If she out there masturbating, send it. My email is officertony@gmail.com.
Bruh, that's so wild. That's so wild.
It's a wild thing.
I can't
Dom,
deal.
where can everybody hit you up at?
Y'all can hit me up on Instagram, St. Angeles on the YouTube. Subscribe, buy the candles.
This the description for the candles is in the in the description.
This bitch, I'm like,
oh, so you're really mad about the refinancing thing on the grandma, huh?
That's so fucked up because you know what? Working when I was working in like retail, we would get that a lot. You know, somebody be done bought in some elderly like grandparent, uncle or aunt or something, and they open up a credit card in their name and then like buy a lot of shit, and then they, you know, next thing you know, it's like fraud or it'd be like a character. That shit is so common and it's so fucked up. Like, you know, so that's so foul. That's so foul.
Wouldn't it be easier for them to do it online instead of bringing somebody in?
It depends, because that might be a day where the person could be in their right mind, where they're not too gone, and you ask, and they be like, yeah, like, and they able, like, that day they know they social or whatever the case may be. Because all of this,
you checking it out. You like, oh yeah, they came through and gave me everything.
Yeah, and so it's not like they doing it on like, you know, like something like a lot of places still do it where they might have a packet where it's like where they filling it out and you pass that to that person and then you just like, oh, I want to open a credit card, and you just, and that's what it is, and you know, but it's just like shit.
Have you seen that happen where you like, man, I know this where this finna go? You seen it like yourself, like, oh, I know this is.
Yeah, we've had a process because it's no way that we can like say it is, you know, or call HR, you know, like asset protection. Like if it goes like that's something they got a dispute on that shit. Like, but we can't necessarily like tell them no, because we supposed to still technically service them. So it's fucked up.
Damn.
But yeah, you know, subscribe, Whiskey Sour. It's a lot of fun. We had my homegirl that also has a candle business. I was telling you the other day. She's a psychotherapist. Shout out to Crystal. And we talked about healing in real time and what that looks like. This week we talk about boundaries with my homegirl Naya. So yeah, that's all I got going on. Just trying to, like I told you, I'll be consistent with the podcast, the content, even with my blog. I need to do a blog post for this week. So yeah, that's what we on.
Yeah, so man, it's I can't believe I had you stumped the last 20 minutes with these topics. So the house one is the one that the other ones is like kind of fun, whatever, huh? That house one is the one that got you, huh?
That baby need to be taken by the state. The house one, he got to take the L. The other girl need to realize she going to jail and to hell for stealing from her grandmama. Like, what?
And to deal with his lesbian cousin, he just got to break up with her, right?
He just got to break up with her because, man, it's always going to be a joke because niggas can't let shit go.
Oh, I know I couldn't. I
would never let nigga. The fact that I had my cousin, God rest his soul, I will still never forget the one time his ass almost got slammed in the Metrolink doors because he was trying to get this girl number. And then the security guard was like, that's really a man. And he was like, I wasn't gonna call her no way, and threw the paper down. We was like, yeah, nigga. Or like, it's certain things that are always just key points, like that you will never forget that are still funny. No.
What if he breaks up with her and she comes to the next barbecue with her? And your family don't know. Your family know y'all broke up. Like, oh yeah, Keisha here already.
I thought that she would need to. He probably. I mean, he deserved this. Both of they both need to be slapped. I ain't for people putting their hands on each other, but just because like that's even more humiliating. You got to disown your family now.
And the thing is, and that means what kind of cousin are you that you would even do that to me though?
Right.
Every Thursday for a year. So you got to think that's 4 weeks, 54 nuts.
Like, I'm telling you, like there needs to be follow-ups with these people. Like, what don't give me like, so okay, this is how we need to know, kind of similar to like they needed to post that like how they do am I the asshole?
Mm-hmm.
So you tell us what happened and then how you responded. And then, then ask for the advice. It needs to be posed like, because don't send me something and I don't know what the fuck you said. Like, what did you say afterwards? Like, did you choke your cousin? Like, I feel like there's something just based out of, you could have had an out of body experience. So yeah, I want to know like what happened. So how did you respond when when she said this? When she said that, okay, did she say it out loud? And like when you pulled her aside and whatever you said, knock it off. Like, what was that conversation? Like, how did it get out that it was in front of everybody? Like, we need the details. And am I the assholes for the most part? Be like, you be an essay, but I'll be okay with it because it'd be good.
Right. And then give me all the
juicy content.
Give me all the details. If you're gonna give me all your business, give me all the details.
Yep. That's how I feel.
Right. Thank y'all for listening to us as always. We appreciate y'all as always. And we will be back. Make sure y'all, we're gonna be doing a recap for Married at First Sight as well. The finale, choosing day. Go over to Dom's channel in the description.
It's here, man. And again, like I said, it has just been a good time watching it. I'm really interested to see how this is going, because I feel like it could go either way. And I think it's gonna be some shenanigans that's gonna jump off. And I'm convinced. Like the shenanigan rate of like the little meter in me is like on this side. So I already know. I already know. So thank y'all so much for always commenting. We try to engage with everybody.
Oh man, yeah, y'all wilding. Y'all funny. Y'all, but the commenters are funny. Y'all, when y'all funny, there's some people. Maybe we get to a point where commenters become assholes, but y'all good people right now. So y'all good.
Y'all good people. As long as y'all being nice, y'all good people.
Yeah. We'll see y'all soon, y'all. Peace.